Hey guys, I've taken an episode of the Schwa Mill, our Saturday show where you can send in pronunciation files and get feedback. Hope you can join us next Saturday at 1:30 p.m. New York time where we can look at your pronunciation files. Before we get into the fun stuff though, just a quick reminder, we have started a program called Mission English. It's basically a private Facebook group where we do live streams Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for 30 minutes or more. But anyways, let's take a look at our first one here. Make sure you guys can see in here.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world it didn't exist.
Oh, wow, this sounds a little bit low for me. So I may have to go this a little bit fast. A couple of things. I want to talk about stresses. One, I think you have a lot of stresses here. You're like, the greatest trick the devil pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. You're giving me four stresses. And the effect of that, it's fine that you can find native speakers that are doing that too, but let's also be aware of the fact that that's going to lead to a choppier sentence because you're going to have more breaks. The more stresses you have, the more breaks you have in your sentence. So it's going to be harder for it to flow. So what I would say is that where could we put stresses?
The greatest trick
The greatest trick. So you're stressing the greatest trick. So you're stressing greatest.
the devil ever pulled was
The devil pulled. You're stressing pulled.
convincing the world
Was convincing the world. You're stressing convincing.
it didn't exist.
He didn't exist. So you're stressing exist. So instead of those four stresses, I would maybe do like the greatest trick the devil pulled. Maybe just greatest. The greatest trick the devil pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. Maybe just exist. So, I would play with that. So maybe greatest and exist. The greatest trick the devil pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. Something like that. In addition to stresses, the other thing is that, again, this sentence, I can hear your stressed words. I do think you're raising your pitch on them. But the issue is that the reduced words are all almost at the same pitch. The greatest trick the devil pulled. The greatest trick the devil pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. So with our unstressed words, if you have a group of them in a row, like 2, 3, 4 unstressed words in a row, consider going down a little bit in pitch for each one. It's like, greatest trick the devil pulled. Greatest trick the devil pulled. The greatest trick the devil pulled. So instead of the greatest trick the devil pulled, more, the greatest trick the devil pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. Was convincing the world he didn't exist. He didn't exist. Especially those last three words. I think you have a great opportunity to vary your pitches more. He didn't exist. Do you hear how low I'm going on didn't? He didn't. He didn't. And in fact, even that first syllable on exist, I'm also going a little bit lower on, right? Didn't exist. Didn't exist. The greatest trick the devil pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. Just having that movement there is really going to give you a much more natural feel. So I would experiment with those two things. Cut down some stresses and increase your range of pitches.
What was your favorite sport growing up?
What's your favorite sport growing up? What was your favorite sport growing up? I can hear what you're doing. So lots of breath coming through, which is great. Could we increase the contrast just a little bit more?
What was your favorite sport growing up?
What's your favorite? I think that you could even go lower. Emmanuel, you're in terms of your vocal register. I don't think you have like a super bassy voice, but I do think that it would be comfortable with your vocal range. I feel to embrace some lower notes as well, and what that would do is increase the contrast and make things a little bit even easier to note, especially for these long sections where you have lots of reductions.
What was your favorite?
It's like, what was your favorite? You're kind of staying in that same range, right? Right. You're going down a little bit. What was your favorite? What was your favorite? So everything there is kind of staying in like the same like 2 or 3 pitch range versus like, what was your favorite sport? What was your favorite sport? So maybe we can like double the amount of pitches you're using or just like increase that range a little bit. What was your favorite sport? What's your favorite sport? What's your favorite sport? Especially on favorite. That's going to be your great opportunity to add more contrast with your stress because we know sport's going to have our highest pitch, right? So that means that sport favorite can go to lowest. Favorite sport. I would even just practice that. Favorite sport. Favorite sport. Your favorite sport. What's your favorite sport? What was your favorite sport growing up? And then same thing with that last part, right? I would cycle this progression. Sport growing up. Sport growing up. What was your favorite sport growing up? So I think the big thing here is increasing your range because I like the breath, I like the linking, I like the one stress. I think that's really helping you flow. But I think the one thing that's holding this back in terms of comprehensibility would be just increasing some of those lower pitches.
What was your favorite sport growing up?
Some things I really liked is I liked your linking with what was.
What was your
What was good.
favorite sport growing up? What was your favorite sport growing?
What was your favorite? I also like your reduction on your, so it's not your, somewhere your. What was your favorite?
What was your favorite sport growing up?
Uh-huh. Um, Watch out. Also, a very minor thing. Watch out for up.
Your favorite sport growing up?
I feel like I'm hearing almost like versus up. So it's a little bit. Watch out for that schwa sound versus that sound. Just a very minor note.
شراء كلين جوز كذا عالق ما دور ولا دوفر دوز حقنا عيال البلد هنا القهوة مزي عندها تكون ثابتة راسل ما هجت زي الوقت تاخد لك دبل ولا سنجل اوفر دوز ريح لها ريكة عدي المزاج كعتين من القهوة المستوردة من كوستاريكا شبك نار كان صيف جا توقيته كله ينزل لك كاس الموسى يا عمي نيفر لأنك منطقة صيد الدوز لو مو اوفر زي ما رحت جيته
With regards to the English,
شراء كلين جوز كذا.
okay, so I think I said today I couldn't go to school. I might just have to focus on that part. I'm not hearing that ooh, I'm not hearing that dark L sound. It sounds like you're saying school.
شراء كلين جوز كذا.
Ska. And in fact, that vowel is super, super fast. So we got lots of helpful notes, I think, for everyone here. So firstly, American English is really focused on vowel sounds. In the way that this is saying school is so fast.
شراء كلين جوز كذا.
Skirt. Okay, I couldn't go to school. Today I couldn't go to school. So the vowel sound is not super clear because it's super, super fast. So the first thing I'm going to say is that, hey, let's try to open up that vowel sound more to take up more time. In fact, the vowel is more important than every other letter there. It's more important than the SCH, the sk sound, and it's more important than the dark L. So you really need to make sure that that oo sound is long enough and open enough. Okay. In addition to that, the oo sound is considered a long vowel. When we say long vowel, we don't mean time. All vowels in English are like the same amount of time. Long vowels, short vowels, it's not really about time. The thing that's helpful to know about long vowels, though, is that the group of long vowels, when they link with the letter L, they break into two parts. So, for instance, school, you're going to hear that ool, ool. It's not ool, it's ool. It's oo and ool, ool. So we want to make sure that we're having that separation. And right now, I'm not quite hearing that part. So make sure, again, that last part is And for that dark L sound, for that L at the end of the word, you want to keep the front of your tongue down and the back of your tongue high. So like And if you find that's a tricky sound to do, you can also open your mouth a little bit wider. School, school.
You look like hell, Bill.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
tired.
Just getting right at it. Do it.
There's a big difference between tired and whatever the hell you are.
Okay.
You're going ashore to the hospital.
Okay. Sycamore is dropping some anger here. Let's hear this again.
You look like hell, Bill. I'm tired.
Okay, I'm going to break that off just a little bit. Let's just do this first part for a moment.
You look like hell, Bill.
The big things here is going to be Bill. So we talked about long vowels and short vowels. We said that for long vowels with an L, you want to break them in half. We talked about long vowels, but now let's talk about short vowels. When short vowels link with an L, you're not going to get that separation. So, for instance, Bill is not Beal, Beal, Beal. Do you hear how the vowel kind of breaks?
Like hell, Bill.
Beal, Beal versus this Bill, Bill. It's a Beal. Notice how much movement my lips are doing. Let me make myself big there for a moment. It's gonna see me nice here. It's like Beal, Beal. Notice how much how much movement my mouth is doing. Okay, Beal versus just Bill, Bill, Bill. You know, it's just kind of one movement versus kind of breaking in parts. So that's kind of something I'd really encourage you to watch out for with Bill. Those ILL combinations are very tricky. I will be honest. So it's just some quick practice words in addition to Bill, ill, still, ill, will, ill, mill, ill, fill, ill, thrill. Let's see if you can do that faster. See if you can do this in one breath with me. So I'm just going to take a nice big breath in. And notice when I take a big breath in, my shoulder's going to stay down. So like, and I'm going to try to project from my diaphragm, not your lungs. Project lower. You want to feel your stomach, your diaphragm tense a little bit. So breathe in and see if you can do this in one breath. Ill still, ill will, ill mill, ill fill, ill thrill. I would definitely try to practice that exercise a little bit. Just practice with your short eyes and your L's. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It kind of breaks. Just like it's not like a full situation, but a little bit. So practicing that a little bit, I think, will be helpful. Going back to some things here, I think will be helpful. Let's watch out for Bill.
You look like hell, Bill.
If you're going to stress hell, you could probably even go a lower pitch on Bill. You look like hell, Bill. You look like hell, Bill. So you could go a little lower. Okay.
I'm tired.
I'm tired. I'm tired. You could even go higher. I'm tired. I'm tired. You can go a little higher on tired if you wanted.
There's a big difference between tired and whatever the hell.
Tired. You will hear some people that kind of break tired and there's almost two syllables, like tired versus tired. Tired. I personally almost keep it one syllable. Tired. Tired. I said tired. Tired. But that's personal choice.
Between tired and whatever the hell you are.
Whatever the hell you are. Whatever the hell. Instead of raising your pitch on hell, I would actually probably lowered it because you're stressing you. You're not stressing hell.
Whatever the hell you are.
Whatever the hell you versus whatever the hell you. Whatever the hell you. I think also a heavier falling intonation on you would make that stronger. Whatever the hell you are.
Whatever the hell you are. You're going ashore to the hospital.
Watch out also for ashore. I think your R sound gets a little tense.
Hell you are. You're going ashore to the hospital. Wherever the hell you are. You're going ashore to the hospital.
Ashore to the. I would practice that little sequence there. Ashore to the. Ashore to the. Ashore to the. And in fact, I would challenge you. Can you say ashore to the with the tip of your tongue pressed against the bottom of your mouth the entire time? Ashore to the. Ashore to the. Ashore to the hospital. Ashore to the hospital. You can say ashore to the. Or ashore to the. You can do that with the tongue higher, but just for like linking and fluency's sake, just as an experiment, I would say, hey, can you do that with the front of your tongue down? See how that goes for you. Ashore to hospital. Ashore to hospital.
Hey guys, you want to go out and just grab a bite and have a few drinks tonight?
Eccolo. Eccolo. Okay, let's see what we got. See what we got.
Hey guys, you want to go out and just grab a bite and have a few drinks tonight?
Okay. Let's kind of break this in parts.
Hey guys, you want to go out and just...
I like your hey guys.
Hey guys.
Hey guys. Hey guys. I like the hey higher pitch guys going down a little bit. I like that. Good movement.
Hey guys.
I also like your guys. This is good. You know, it can be a tricky sound. Those like Z sounds at the ends of words for a lot of Romance languages. So good job, Denny.
Hey guys, you want to go out and just...
You want to go out. Notice how closed you got for out.
Guys, you want to go out and...
Go out versus go out. Hear difference between go out and go out.
You want to go out.
You want to go out versus go out. Okay, so I would really see, I think your placement just kind of raises a little bit higher, but at the same time, your throat also closes off, so you're not getting as much air through. Okay, so more out, go out.
And just grab a bite and...
Just
grab a...
And just...
So you want to go out and just...
Go out and just... Same thing for schwa sound. I think you're switching your vowel a little bit. It's like juice versus just. Try to get a little bit more of a schwa sound there.
Go out and just...
You want to go out and just... You can also lower your pitch even lower if you want it. You want to go out and just...
Think of it from this perspective.
Ooh, it's very
Remember what I said about perspective? Life's about perspective.
Oh, man. Jesse's going deep. Oh, man. Thank you for sending this audio file, Jesse. This is a very intriguing audio file. Very intriguing and very deep. Think of it from perspective. It feels like a scene from a movie or something.
Think of it from this perspective.
Think of it from this perspective. You know, that's a very interesting stress. You're stressing perspective. I was personally expecting to stress on this. Think of it from this perspective. Think of it from this perspective. But again, if you are quoting this from something, perspective is certainly a possibility. It's just not the stress I personally would have chosen. How about our next one?
Think of it from this perspective.
I'm a little bit nervous about your long I short, or like your E sound versus your short I, so like E versus eh. Okay.
Think of it from.
I think is actually it sounds okay, but the it, I feel like I'm hearing E versus it.
Think of it from.
Yeah, think of it versus like think of it versus think of it. Think of it.
Think of it from this perspective.
And it's very slight, it's very slight, but even on perspective a little bit, perspective versus perspective. So I do think maybe your placement rises a little higher on those eyes. So just kind of be careful of that.
This perspective. Remember what I said about perspective?
Remember what I said about
Perspective. Remember what I said about.
Remember what I said. Remember what I said.
Remember what I said about.
Remember what I said. I do think that I think you have some linking and things going on, which is good. And the remember what I said, but I think it could be heightened even more if you wanted. Like remember what I said. Remember what I said.
Remember what I said about.
Like what I said. It just feels slightly choppier than mine, especially on that what I versus like what I. So this is kind of something to keep in mind. It's probably because of the linking.
Think of it from this perspective.
I think that from this perspective,
Think of it from this perspective.
from this, from this, so Rumeza, your comment here is kind of tied to this from this with the linking there. From this. There are so many ways to link that. You could say from this with a very strong TH, from this. Another thing is that honestly, that TH could very weaken to the point where you almost don't hear it, or maybe you don't even hear it at all, like from this perspective. Think of it from this perspective. So there's a lot of different variations in terms of how you can pronounce that little section there. THs are funny because a lot of times they actually do kind of weakening to the point where they just about disappear.
Perspective. Remember what I said about perspective?
So again, what we talked about, what I said about, I think you have some linking going on, but I think you could even, if you wanted to, heighten it more. What I said about perspective, compare mine to yours there.
Life's about perspective.
Life's about. I would have maybe even held life a little longer.
Life's about
and maybe even go higher on life and go lower on about. It's going to make life pop more. It's going to really stand out more. Life's about perspective. Perspective.
He's not playing with a full deck.
I think it sounds fine. If you wanted, it sounds very neutral. So something I would encourage you is maybe pick an emotion and try reading it with that emotion. Just to avoid sounding too flat. If you're trying to sound like sarcastic or just like you're kind of making fun of them. You could be like, he's not playing with a full deck. Just to even just add a little bit more movement in terms of your pitches and things. It does sound a little flat.
He's not playing with a full deck.
He's not playing. Every one of those words has almost the same pitch.
He's not playing.
Can we make sure that no two words had the same pitch? Like, he's not playing with a full deck. He's not playing with a full deck, just to kind of increase the variation. Because otherwise, again, it's just going to sound a little flat.
He's not playing with a full deck.
With a full deck. I don't know if you need to stress on full.
Playing with a full deck.
Because it kind of breaks up your rhythm a little bit. He's not playing with a full deck. Or if you do want to stress full, he's not playing with a full deck. Would you stress full or would you stress deck? I actually probably would stress deck, not full, with a full deck. Instead with a full deck. Full deck versus full deck.
With a full deck.
Full deck versus full deck. Yeah, the more I hear it, the more I think that deck would be a more natural place to place the stress, in all honesty. Okay, so just some things to think about there in terms of your stress patterns.
When I was 13, I had my first love. There wasn't nobody that compared to my baby, and nobody can pretend as it could ever come above. She had me going crazy. Oh, I was starstruck. She woke me up daily. Don't need no Starbucks. She made my heart pound. Skip a beat when I see her in the street and at school on the playground. But I already want to see her on the weekend. She knows she got me dazing. She was so amazing. And now my heart is breaking. But I just keep on saying, baby, baby, baby. Oh, like baby, baby, baby. No, like Come on, Geoff, sing along.
Oh, I was supposed to say. Okay.
Oh, I thought you'd always be mine, baby, baby, baby. Oh,
Is this a song? Like, is this an actual song? Like, I know nothing about Justin.
No, like
Is
baby,
this? It
baby,
sounds like it is.
baby.
I'm guessing you didn't make that up, right?
I thought you'd always be mine.
Okay.
You know what? I've been thinking about it to deal with him, but actually, I don't want to jump the gun before my friend gets.
Okay. My comment for you is already everything in terms of fluency. You are talking so fast, and part of the reason is that your vowel sounds are so short.
You know what? I've been thinking about it.
I've been thinking about it. So what's happening is because your vowel sounds are so short, your consonant sounds are starting to take over, and that's kind of giving you like a choppier sound like this. I've been thinking about it versus I've been thinking about it. So I would really recommend take like a. Sorry if I hit this. Thank you for Rumeza for letting us know that is one of his songs. Rumeza, are you a Bieber fan, or you just know? It's okay. I won't judge. But I'm just wondering. But anyways, I think your consonant sounds are really strong. Your vowel sounds are really fast.
You know what? I've been thinking about it.
I've been thinking about it versus. So what I would do is I would take a section of what you're saying. I would just do the vowel sounds. So let's do. I've been thinking about it. It's like out it. Out it. Out it. Out it. I've been thinking about it. Out it. I've been thinking about it. So this is going to do. It's going to help you emphasize the vowel sounds a little bit more than your consonant sounds, and that's going to help with your flow and your in general, it's going to help with the comprehensibility because your listener is listening for vowel sounds. They're not listening as heavily for your consonant sounds. So I am a little bit nervous about this. Go longer on your vowels, go shorter on your consonants, and you can also talk a little bit slower. Fluency is not about speaking super fast, okay? Fluency is more about, being able to keep things flowing from one side to the next. It's a lot more about breath and things like that, in addition to the linking. But that would be my major comment. Okay. I believe you. No, but seriously, I believe you. Question here. Question. Pressing my mouth. Okay. Yeah. So really quick. Let's take the word like little. So like if I do little with the tip of my tongue down the entire time, little. Like if I say a little trouble versus a little trouble. Those last two I had my tongue high, but if I say a little trouble, that's with my front of my tongue low. Okay, that's something we can go more into in the future. I have some videos that do talk about T sounds, so I would encourage you to check out those as well. But that will give you a little bit of an idea of what it could sound like. So that was that file. That mood, I would hold your vowel sounds longer. So like if you're saying like I was thinking about it. Or another thing too, you could try shadow. So like take a dialogue, take like a 3-second section of a dialogue, okay, and shadow it and see, are you saying it in 3 seconds or are you saying it in 2 seconds or are you saying it in 1 second? So that's a very easy way to kind of check and see if you're talking too fast. Shadow and make sure your shadow file is the same length as whatever you're shadowing. So that's kind of just the way to capture it. I would really encourage you to shadow more often. I'll be honest. That's a good question. Singer, if you're here, let us know. When is your album dropping? Or maybe next time in the chat, you can let us know. Last quick file. I think I can do Sans and I can do YouTube users, and then I got to go, guys.
There is no reason to complain about something that can be fixed.
Okay. There are things here related to placement that I think would be helpful. I think your placement's a little high. To give you an example of that.
There is no reason.
There's no reason. Can you try, take that phrase, there's no reason. Can you say it 5 times and each time go lower? It's like, there's no reason. 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 So doing that exercise just to kind of practice increasing your range. Because right now I think your placement tends to be more here. Okay. There's no reason versus there's no reason. So that's the first thing I'm going to recommend.
There is no reason to complain about something.
The other thing too is that your stress words are overstressed.
There is no reason.
There's no reason. There's no reason. Versus like, there's no reason. There's no reason. So the pitch doesn't have to go quite so high in your stress words.
To complain about.
To complain versus to complain. So when you're stressing a word and you need to raise the pitch, it doesn't have to go like super, super high. It just needs to be a little bit higher than the syllable before it. And that is plenty. Okay. Oh my gosh, guys, can you say congratulations to YouTube user? Can you say welcome to YouTube user? It's the first time. It's great. We're so happy when people send files for the first time. It's really exciting for us. It's like a new addiction. It's going to be your new thing. You're like, oh my gosh, I want to send more files. How do I send more files? Jeff, I want more files. It's an exciting thing. We're excited to give you some feedback. I want to try to give you some quick thoughts for this, and then unfortunately I do have to go. But yes, please say congrats to YouTube user. Thank him. We want to make sure they send files in the future. Some quick thoughts here.
Two things aren't infinite: the universe and human stupidity. And I'm not sure about the universe.
Okay, not bad.
Two things aren't infinite: the universe and human stupidity. And I'm not sure about the universe.
I think the general this is sounding pretty good. My biggest suggestion is right now you're playing it very safe with your again, I'm going to go back to pitches. You're playing it very safe in terms of the pitches that you're using. You're giving me like a 3 to 4 pitch range. Okay. And I think if you listen to a lot of native speakers, you're going to see a much wider range of pitches being used.
Two things aren't infinite.
Two things aren't infinite versus like two things aren't infinite. Two things aren't infinite. Compare.
Two things aren't infinite: the universe.
Two things are infinite. Two things are infinite. So just compare mine to yours in terms of the number of ranges of pitches that you're hearing.
Two things aren't infinite.
Two things are infinite. Two things are infinite.
The universe and human stupidity.
The universe and human stupidity. So I would, again, play with the ranges, play with intonation too. So like I would consider using a rising intonation on universe because there's more information coming after it. The universe and human stupidity. The universe and human stupidity. The universe and human stupidity.
Two things aren't infinite: the universe and human stupidity.
Because everything stays the same. The universe and human stupidity versus the universe and human stupidity. So I would really say, hey, I think your English is already at a very clear spot. If you're just going for clarity and to be understood, congratulations. I think you're there. If you're going for a more natural sound, though, I think it's time to experiment with increasing the range of pitches because it's going to give you a much more natural sound when you communicate with people. I would love to have the opportunity to work with you directly in our group class called Mission English. We meet Monday through Friday for 30 minutes every single day. It's 18 classes for $30. We hope you can make it. Find more information at fluentamerican.com/missionenglish.